What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag, and today I'm going to talk about another interesting topic. I'm going to show you 12 beast performing summer scents. Now I'm doing this video because I got a lot of requests for the same, because I have done another video about beast performing perfumes which were mainly winter specific, because the fact is these days the summer perfumes, which are fresh, aquatic, fruity kind of notes, they don't really last that long when you compare it with your darker kind of perfumes, because that's the character of fresh citrus aquatic type of notes. Though the old batches used to perform great, likes of Club de Nuit Intense, the older batches, this is 2017. I think most of you know that it gives 15 hours plus lasting with great projections, because I did receive compliments even in the 14th hour after I sprayed this, which was a little surprising to me. Though I experienced nose fatigue myself, I don't sense the smell after 5 hours of spraying this, even with the 2017 old batch. I myself never smell it after 5 hours, which is normal, but it does give me compliments even in the 14th hour, sometimes 15th hour. So that's a little surprising, but unfortunately because of IFRA guidelines, some of the aroma chemicals which were used for heavy projection and lasting are banned now because they cause lung infection. Most of you do not know the reasons, but I'm telling you now, so keep that in mind. Any list that I'm going to talk now, do not compare it with your winter fragrances, which are typical dark, woody, leathery, tobacco kind of scents, because you cannot expect citrus aquatic kind of notes to last like the dark kind of notes which I just mentioned. Among the fresh summer citrus aquatic type of scents, I will show you which are the best performing ones. So forget about the old batches, I'm not going to mention this at all. So coming in at number 12, so I'll start with the cheapies first and then go to the slightly expensive ones. At number 12 is Almas Cool Weather, which I have done a separate video as well. Many of you have tried this, many of you have complained saying it is synthetic, but I'll tell you what, for this kind of 110 bucks, 150 bucks, you can't expect quality, guys. If you want quality, go for Davidoff Cool Water, but that will not give you the projection and lasting that this one can give. This has solid projection of 4 to 5 hours. It gives a solid lasting of 10 hours plus, believe it or not, but when you smell it from close, you obviously would get those synthetic vibes. So quality doesn't mean projection and lasting. Cheap synthetics can give you better projection and lasting. That's the fact. You need to understand all this. If you happen to try different type of fragrances, you will definitely understand what I'm trying to say. So at number 12 is Cool Weather. I usually make perfume sprays out of this. I did not carry the bottle here, so I'm just showing you the package. So in case you want to give it a try, go for it. But don't judge the quality for this cheap price. So now coming in at number 11 is Cafe Noir from Riffs. Unfortunately, they say it is discontinued, some say low supply, but this has solid 8 to 10 hours of lasting. I did get compliments in the 8th hour, and that's when I realized that it has solid performance. It has a nice fresh kind of vibe with a little peppery spiciness, and it is a super versatile perfume. You can wear it all around the year, but great performance, very crowd pleasing, easy to get compliments. I think I got about 4 to 5 compliments in the first way to office, and the last compliment was in the 8th hour, and that really surprised me. So it definitely has great projection and a solid lasting, though I don't sense the smell after 4 hours because of nose fatigue, which is very common. I keep telling you this, and I still get comments saying that I don't get the lasting after 4 hours, I get only 4 hours, and you said it is 10 hours. You keep blaming, I don't understand. These are facts you need to understand, guys. Don't just come in for the sake of it. Understand the facts that nose fatigue, olfactory fatigue is very common with most of the human beings. That's how our noses are. So understand these things and then judge the lasting. Now at number 10 is Nautica Voyage or Nautica Voyage. I don't know, some say Voyage, some say Voyage. Whatever it is, this is another summer beast, because I won't say the projection is beast. It does project for first 2 hours, sometimes even 3rd hour if you are indoors, but it sticks on to your skin and clothes like a leech, and it gives a solid 10 to 11 hours, believe it or not. Again, nose fatigue can be experienced by any of you. 10 to 11 hours of lasting, a beautiful melon and cucumber kind of note, solid summer fragrance. Cost around 2,000, I guess. Now coming in at number 9 is from Paris Corner Autobiography. Oh boy, I don't really call this as a typical summer fragrance, but you can wear it in the summer evening times because it has that candy, fruity kind of note, which in my experience won't be best suited for the daytime of summers, but you can wear it for the evening times. I personally feel this would suit party wear kind of occasions because it is very candy, fruity type of note. It smells like that mango bite candy that you used to get in your childhood days. I'm sure you would have tried it if you are from India. So that's the kind of smell that I get in this one. It has a solid projection of 2 to 3 hours with just 4 sprays if you're indoors. and it gives a solid lasting of 8 to 10 hours. So beautiful scent if you like that sweet candy fruity kind of vibe. I personally don't enjoy this much, but it is still not bad if you like that fruity blend. I get bored of these sweet fruity notes these days because of my age factor, but otherwise if you like that kind of blend, this is definitely a great stuff. Coming in at number 8 is Rasasi Thaa. This is an orange blossom neroli kind of fragrance, but solid projection of 3 to 4 hours, and it gives a solid lasting of 10 hours plus. But whether you like neroli or orange blossom note, that is left to you. I'm not a huge fan of this orange blossom or neroli note, but there are people who make this as signature scents, because I see some people chatting with me and they say that this is one of their signature scents. No problem, it is a great scent for sure. If you happen to stay in a coastal areas, high humid kind of temperature like Mumbai, Kerala or Mangalore, Goa, this is definitely going to perform in that kind of weather, guys, because it has a solid projection of 3 to 4 hours, because I did wear it for outdoors in that kind of coastal weather and my relatives could smell me even in the 3rd hour. So that's why I'm saying this has solid projection and a solid lasting. But whether you like neroli or not depends on you, but great performance, definitely suits for outdoors during the summertime. Now coming in at number 7, Rasasi Shaghaf. Beautiful scent, ylang ylang with a hint of tobacco, but that ylang ylang vanishes after 6 hours, then the base continues till 10 hours. So definitely has great performance with good projection of 2 to 3 hours, and it has a beautiful blend. This is definitely not the common types of blend that you get. Give it a try. I heard this is not in supply these days because of COVID situation, but maybe you should just wait and grab your chance when it comes back. Costs around 2,500 to 3,000 in that range in India, but beautiful scent. It is kind of fresher version of Rasasi Shura, but it has a different take to it because of that ylang ylang fruity sweetness, but definitely a must try. You don't really have to blind buy it, see if you can get a decant or if you can test it from your friends or relatives, whoever has this, but for me this is one of the uncommon blends and a beautiful scent. Definitely give it a try because it has great performance as well. At number 6 is from Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau de Parfum. This is one of my favorite these days. I give it an 8.5 on 10 because it has a slightly different take. I won't say it is completely unique, but it definitely has a slightly different take from the usual Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel, Invictus. These are common DNAs that you find these days, but this is definitely different from those because it has a nice green apple note with the nice sage spiciness, which I enjoy the most in this one. It has that masculine touch to it. It is not that typical fruity Invictus kind of DNA, but that's why I like this a lot these days. Costs around 6,500 to 8,000. If there is discounts, you can get it for 6,500, but it definitely has a good projection of 2 to 3 hours if you're indoors and gives me a lasting of 8 to 9 hours. Though it does not touch 10 hours, I still get it for 8 to 9 hours, so I thought I can still place this at number 6. Now at number 5 is Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio ABSOLU. Now this one I've done a separate video as well. This gets me a hell lot of compliments. Girls go crazy over this one. I personally don't enjoy Profumo that much, but I know there are many fans of it. I personally prefer this one. That's why I got the larger bottle of this one. But again, you cannot really say that this is unique because you might feel a little bit of that Invictus vibe. They say it is a take on Invictus DNA with the Acqua di Gio blend. Probably yes, I do sense that Invictus vibe in the air because when my brother-in-law wears this, I do get that Invictus vibe, but I would not say it is a clone of Invictus at all because it has a totally different take to it. But if you say it's a blend of Acqua di Gio with a touch of Invictus, I totally agree with that. But let me tell you about my wearing experience. This has a solid performance. It projects about 4 to 5 hours because even in the 4th hour, I have received compliments. And when my brother-in-law wore this, it was 6 hours later when I went to pick him up from the airport, I could still smell it outdoors. 6th hour, he was wearing this one. And I gave him a compliment because that's the first time I sniffed and that's when I got this one. Beautiful scent, 100% women pleaser, solid projection and gives a good lasting of 10 to 12 hours. You will experience nose fatigue because when I wear it myself, I never sense this after 4 to 5 hours, but it does give you a compliment even in the 4th or 6th hour with my wearing experience if you are indoors, so keep that in mind. At number 4, this needs no description guys, Dior-Sauvage. I'm kind of bored of this, but I still have to mention because mine is 2017 batch, which gives me 10 to 12 hours of lasting on my skin. I could still smell it on my skin after 12 hours. And it has a solid projection of 4 to 5 hours again. I heard the new batches do not perform that well. I haven't done a side-by-side comparison, so I cannot really comment. Maybe because of the IFRA guidelines again, it would have been reformulated, but the new batches still claim to give about 7 to 8 hours, which is still not bad. 2017 batch, 12 hours of lasting is what I get, a solid projection of 4 to 5 hours. At number 3 is from Inspired Aroma, Chypre Intense. Now believe it or not guys, this gives me a solid lasting of 10 hours on my clothes with a great projection of 3 hours. This is a typical fresh but dry Chypre kind of fragrance, but you can use it for the summers easily because it has a beautiful apple note with that labdanum to give it that dryness. So you can imagine the smell of apple which is kept in the fridge, or rather say a frozen apple. So that kind of smell is what you get in this one. Solid projection of 3 feet for the first 3 hours, and then it lasts an easy 10 plus hours on my clothes if you are indoors. So don't forget that. Chypre Intense by Inspired Aroma, definitely give it a try. This is a 20 ml and costs around 1000, but I still think it is worth because I have a 50 ml as well, which costs around 2.5 because this is extrait de parfum. 20 ml costs around 1000. So if you do not want to blind buy, go for the 20 ml, but great stuff guys. Coming in at number 2 is my favorite. This gives me a hell lot of compliments. Rasasi Hawas. My most memorable scent when it comes to compliments, because this one does not let me reach home without a compliment. I receive compliments in the 10th hour as well, and it always surprises me. Again, nose fatigue is normal with this one. I don't sense the smell after 4 to 5 hours, but I get compliments in the 10th hour, and that's why I have to say that it has a solid performance 10 to 11 hours or 10 to 12 hours, whatever it is, because people compliment me in the 10th hour, so I have to give it that credit. Some people say it is reformulated. The reformulation is only on the color of the juice. This has that light purple. The current batches have that grayish kind of juice. But trust me guys, there is no difference in the performance. If you don't believe it, watch the channel Mehdi Sense. He has done a side-by-side comparison of this and the latest batches, and he still claimed that both gives him 10 to 12 hours of lasting, and I would like to believe that because he's got a great collection. So you can watch that particular video if you want to get a complete review of the side-by-side reviews. Mine is 2017 batch, and I see no trouble with the performance. Great projection for the first 2 to 4 hours. 5 feet, trust me, 5 feet, people sense this one. I don't sense it, others sense it. If you are indoors, it has that airy character, but women go crazy over this one. My wife loves this a lot, and my colleagues in office, especially women, they go crazy over this one guys. At number 1 is Bvlgari Acqua Amara. This is one of my favorites. It is discontinued or low supplied again, so I just got a backup bottle of 15 ml. I do have the 100 ml as well. I did not carry it here. Bitter orange with aquatic notes. Beautiful blend. You don't really see other fragrances having this kind of blend. It is not totally unique, but this kind of bitter orange with that aquatic vibe, the punch of aquatic vibe, solid performance. It gives great compliments, surprisingly, because I did not expect, when I first bought the 100 ml which I have, I did not expect that it would give me so many compliments, but surprisingly it always gives me compliments, whether it is guys or girls. Everybody loves this. Great projection of 3 to 4 feet for the first 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes even in the 4th and 5th hour I get compliments, which was surprising, and it gives a solid lasting of 10 to 12 hours. See if you can get your chance on this one, because this is kind of discontinued, so grab your chance. The price is slightly increased, but if you have that budget, grab your chance. This is one of the best performing summer scents that you can find currently. I don't know if the latest batches have reformulated. This is also a latest batch, but on my skin when I tested it, I could still smell it even in the 9th hour. After that I had to take bath, so I don't know if it crossed 10 hours, but doesn't matter, 9 hours is still great. The reason why I'm placing this at number 1 instead of this is because you go nose fatigues with this one faster than this one, but this one, because of that bitter orange note, you can still sense this more than this one, but otherwise both of them have great performance. So some say Invictus also lasts great like this one, but I do not have a personal experience with that. I did get compliments with this one in the 8th hour as well, and people do compliment me in the 6th hour as well, so I believe this also lasts, but this is again 2016 batch. I don't know if the latest batches of Paco Rabanne Invictus has a similar performance, but Hawas definitely has that. I told you which video to watch, so that's the reason I did not place this in my top 12 list. I would go with this one. So that's about it. Let me know your best performing summer scents. Thanks for watching again. Keep sharing the videos. See you next time soon. Cheers.